Hello, welcome back. This is a part two of the video that I was making earlier about religion and meditation and stuff like that. So the video was cut short slightly, but this is the second part to it. So I'm going to start off by just saying I apologise for the technical issues there, but I think it pretty much I was talking about meditation in the mainstream, and I was saying. That in my time as a Buddhist, I got a lot out of meditating, and that I would highly recommend meditation to people, especially if you are a someone who works quite a lot and you're thinking about how to find a little bit of inner peace or time to yourself because you are rushing around and you have a million and one things to think about and jobs to do and people to meet and impress and stuff like that. Because meditation can give you a way to tune a tool to tune your inner instrument, I guess you could say, so that you are centered in a way that you're going to be able to work from a place of balance rather than just have scattered thoughts all of the time. It's all right having scattered thoughts and a lot going on, especially when you're at work, but just dedicating a small amount of time, like 10 to 20 minutes a day, to practicing just basic meditation at a basic level is going to give you benefits where you can find a little bit of inner peace. Because if you don't meditate and you don't tune yourself in to become centered and balanced, that's not really you. Um, the thoughts that you have are not necessarily you. Because if you get up and you go out and you talk to somebody else and then they give you a concept or an idea that's in your head as a thought, I mean, for a start, that thought didn't come from yourself, it came from somebody else. So you don't want to. I mean, you can think on that concept, but saying to yourself in your head that yes, that concept, I like that concept, so that's me, is not really a good way to be if you've got problems with your inner peace or anxiety, for example, because you need to hone yourself into to so that you're coming from a place where you're the observer of the thoughts. You are the real you. The you is basically the thing or the person that inside that observes the thoughts and the input. So the input that's coming in through your senses, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears, your skin, and around you, and then the thoughts that are processing that information and the thoughts that are processing the information that other people are throwing at you. You are the one that's observing that input and that information and those thoughts. Even if those thoughts are coming from you, some of them are coming from you, some of them are coming from other people. You don't want to sort of, you still only the observer of the thoughts, because some thoughts are negative, intrusive thoughts. You don't want to hang on to. You want to just let them go and fly past your head because you don't want to cling on to negativity too much, especially if it's something that you don't need to think about. Um, so meditating and bringing yourself back to the inner you, where you're observing the thoughts that are flying through your head and you're reflecting on the input that has come into your head over the last 24 hours or the last week or month or year or whatever, means that you can tune yourself in to the balance of be recognizing and acknowledging that you are the observer of those thoughts and that you don't have to cling on to every negative thought that comes through your head. And if you really think about it, the key there is acknowledging that you don't have to cling on to the negative thoughts and that you are the observer of the thoughts and not the thoughts themselves. But meditating, it takes a lot of practice because although that makes a hell of a lot of sense now, probably hearing it and me saying it, um, maybe tomorrow when you go to work and something happens at work, like you can't find an email or something like that, and you drink too much coffee, that logic of meditation, that insight about observing the thoughts and not clinging on to intrusive thoughts, um, might fly out the window. And then when you go back home to meditate again, you have to try and rummage around and find it. So having a set time a day where you are saying, I'm going to meditate 10 minutes every single day now, you're acknowledging, you may think that not hanging on to negative thoughts and recognizing that you're the observer of thoughts and not the thoughts themselves is a fairly simple, maybe one or two sentences of writing or information to process. It doesn't seem that complicated, but it it's the process of acceptance of where you're going wrong with regards to negativity and intrusive thoughts, and where you're going wrong in the way of processing input from other people and other influences during the day. So it's, even though it's only a sentence or two sentences of written information, which would be don't cling on too much to negative or intrusive thoughts, and recognize and accept that you're the observer of your thoughts. You're not necessarily your thoughts themselves. It's not a great deal of information to read back, but to put that into practice where it's constantly working as a machine in your head and helping you guide yourself through the day to where you can get back home and meditate again. It takes practice, and discipline, um, because you know that information about intrusive thoughts is correct, and you know that if somebody gives you a negative thought, hanging on to it is incorrect. But you don't know what emotions you're going to be experiencing the next day after another 24 hours at work. So you need to drill it into your head by meditating. Excuse me. By meditating every day so that it works correctly. Um, so if you like to sit in the bath, I find that in the bath is a great place to meditate. It's one of my favourite places. And then spending your time meditating 10 or 20 minutes, and build it from there. But if you're not religious at all, you can easily find a basic meditation video on YouTube and use that whilst you're in the bath or whatever to balance yourself a little bit and find a little bit of calm so that you're not running through the day like a crazy person. If you're a Christian or a Muslim, I would say meditation nowadays is a lot more common in mainstream religion. So once again, just go onto YouTube and find a meditation, and it's all going to help you towards your spiritual or religious goals anyway. Meditating is something that's not going to hurt you. People think that it's going to take away your drive or something, and it's not. It's simply bringing yourself back to your actual self, and stopping yourself from attaching too much to unnecessary thoughts that you're clinging on to because you think that they're going to hopscotch you to the next thought or to the goal that you want. You need to make sure that you're clear about who you are in your own head and how much of what other people say to you you actually need to hold on to, and how much of it just needs processing away and putting into a basket or a bin. So yeah, think about all that. I'm probably going to make another video on meditation and meditation in religion and mainstream. If not, the next video that I make, the one after that. So yeah, stay tuned. hopefully you'll get started on meditating or keep meditating. And thank you. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.